Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Yeah, I know it's been so long, okay, that I have actually missed my Wednesday evening Facebook Live. I hope that there's still someone there, okay, tonight tuning into tonight's session. Special sessions itself, okay. Hey, I thought the background would be not this one, ma. Oh yeah, wrong background. Oops. Okay, so yeah, tonight's in a way special. I would say not so special. Every year, end of the year, I will do something like this, okay, where I will actually recap back of the year 2022. All right, so that we can prepare ourselves at least for this final quarter, okay, of 2022 itself, to prepare ourselves as best as possible to move forward into 2023. Okay, so as like most of us know that, okay, majority, okay, most part of 2022 has in a way almost like in a way gone. Okay, we are left with October, November and December, only 3 more months. But in terms of the tiger year itself, okay, it will be actually in a way in effect up to in a way February, okay, of 2023 itself. Okay, so those of you who are tuning in right now, okay, do let me know if you can see me properly and you can actually see, okay, the whole presentation, because today's in a way setup is slightly different from the normal sitting down one, because we have quite a number of slides, okay, to in a way look back. Hi Summon Zaidi, right, good to see you on a Wednesday night too. Okay, I know you actually in a way has commented that you missed the usual Wednesday night Facebook Live. Yeah, I miss it too. Okay, so we will do our best. Okay, here I'm back for this month at least. Okay, back on the Wednesday night 9 p.m. schedule. How Lai Ping, okay, Liu Lai Ping, Teresa Go. Okay, hi Mr. Lim. Okay, hi neighbor. Hi Serene. Hearts are shut there. Okay, Leanne. Okay, hello. All right. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and of course, I want all of you to try to recap how have 2022 been. All right, have it been like a very smooth sailing terrific year so far, or has it been a challenging year? Okay, so honestly for me, I will find that it has been a challenging year for me. Challenging in the sense that, okay, a lot of like challenges that in a way present itself, okay, for me to look into it, to break through. Okay, so I would say that in Chinese, right, I find that 2022 is a year that represents like 一波未停,一波又起. Okay, those of you who know Cantonese, right, it seems like things just pops out, okay, challenges just pops out, okay, continuously as well. All right, so yeah, just hope that all of you can hear me well, all right, because tonight itself I'm not wearing the mic onto myself, because so that I can mobilely move around. So okay, my mic is actually clipped somewhere right in front of me, so do let me know if the sound is clear. Chang Feng said the sound and visual is clear. Okay, that's good, very good. All right, so first of all, I would really like all of you to reflect back, okay, take this night itself, okay, to reflect back onto the whole of 2022. How has it been for you? How is the energy of this water tiger year been treating you so far? All right, so try to reflect back on that, where I'll be in a way recapping, okay, the slides and the informations that I've shared during my annual talk earlier this year. Okay, so that is a tradition. All right, every year itself towards the end of the year, I'll be sharing some informations of my annual talk, okay, publicly, so that in case those of you who missed my annual astrology talk earlier this year, you still have these few months to catch up. Okay, you still have these few months, okay, to understand how is this energy affecting you in this particular year itself, how is it impacting you in terms of the overall outlook for the year, and also on your personal focus. But I'm going to break this particular I would say informations into two parts. One, the first part will be covered tonight, and the second part will be covered next week, okay, because there are just so much information, okay, to be squeezed all into just like, you know, one Facebook Live itself. Okay, hi Wei Chiang, okay, Pan Wei Chiang, Kim Chen, okay, thank you. Hi Ice, okay, thank you to all of you for always dropping a note and always being very supportive. Okay, now first of all, I need to actually mention this again. All right, off Wednesday Facebook Live, in fact all my Facebook Live are highly sponsored by J Group Building Dreams Together, because it's like all the gadgets that we have, continuously upgrading the gadgets, okay, up to today itself, okay, thanks to J Group, okay, founder Jennifer Yap itself to help me so that we can present to you Facebook Live at the best way possible as well, okay. And of course she paid, okay, for my time whenever I go live, okay, so that I can share information with all of you. And of course, okay, to those of you who missed this year annual talk itself, right, okay, or probably you have just found out about me, okay, after January, right, tonight I'm going to recap, okay, what is this, in a way, annual astrology talk is all about, all right, and how we can make use of this energy to help us to prepare ourselves, okay, to maneuver into the year. And I also want your feedback, okay, if you remember, those of you who attended early this year, how many of you here, okay, of course aside Serene, Mr. Lim, and also Ice, okay, how many of you here actually attended my annual astrology talk in 2022, means early this year in January, okay, do let me know, all right, whether you have attended, because I would like to know as well, okay, do you remember the content, right, how much of it has actually taken place, okay, in your life this year itself, all right, how do you resonate with the content, all right, with your own personal focus, your career and business focus as well, and also overall the outlook of the year. Of course, tonight we're going to recap some of it, okay, so that so those of you here on my Facebook Live, you can also share with me whatever that we have covered early this year itself, how much of it has materialized, okay? So that's the purpose of a recap, because every year it has been a tradition for a few years now, okay, so that I would want to recap on my outlook for the year, because you see, I am generally predicting the year based on all these tools that I have, based on Chinese Metaphysics, based on Bazi, based on I Ching, based on Feng Shui, okay? So I use all these tools to actually, in a way, predict the year. But, I mean, any predictions could go right or wrong, okay? All right, so I mean, it's like any practitioners out there, okay? No matter it's like what masters you call ourselves, okay? We have a tendency to go wrong. So I always love the fact that every year itself, I would want to recap. I would want to look back, okay, to look at my way of predictions, okay? Probably some of it, in a way, materialize, some of it doesn't, and then it's where for all of us to learn why it doesn't materialize, okay? What could have, in a way, gone wrong along the way itself, and that's how we learn and we grow. All right, so TJ Wong was there, Joe Chan was there, hello, okay, thank you, okay, for sharing with me. Saman Zaidi, you are also there. All right, so again, if those of you, if you can actually help me to share this Facebook Live out, okay, on your Facebook feed, that will be good, because the information that I'll be sharing, okay, recapping for the year itself, it is still very useful for at least the remaining few months, okay, that we are still under the energy or the influence of the water tiger year of 2022. So let's say for people who are really willingly, like no way looking for transformations, willingly looking for really like breakthroughs in their life, all these informations will still be very useful to them. So it will be good if you can actually help me to share it out on your Facebook feed as well. Okay, do let me know if you have shared. All right, thank you so much. And then let's bring up the slides. Okay, so this year's itself, okay, I would call it like Crouching Tiger and Hidden Secrets, okay, of 2022. And early this year itself, okay, in January, okay, in fact, all the preparations of the talk have started since like November and December last year, where we catered to media interviews, right? And the official talk of the event happened on January 6th, if I'm not mistaken, all right? So first of all, of course, we talk about the year Water Tiger. And remember, I asked all of you, okay, during the talk itself, like, which particular tiger, okay, would you want, okay, to be seen as at the end of the year? So now we are heading towards the end of the year. We are in October now, okay, the last quarter of the year. So I need to check back with you as in like, how many of you ended up like any of these photos, okay? Any of you in a way find that how has been the Water Tiger year been for you so far? Is it challenging? Is it depressing? Okay, it is like difficult, okay, right? Share with me your honest answer, as I've actually shared with you. It is a challenging year for me in terms of spiritual growth as well. I find that there's a lot of like challenges for me to learn the lessons of compassion, for me to learn, okay, to get rid of that need of judgment, okay? So yeah, all these things has been really coming into me, okay, coming to my life itself, okay, in like different ways of manifestations, and I can see it that it is all teaching me compassion. It is all also teaching me in a non-judgmental and training me or guiding me towards the art of letting go. Okay, easier said than done, all right? But I'm sure that every year itself, with awareness within us, whatever that we would love to achieve, okay, for the betterment of ourselves, all right, we will be able to achieve that. All right, so Vincent Lim, you shared, thank you so much, Vincent. All right, Pan Wei Chiang, you also shared, thank you so much. Those of you who helped me share this session out, I really appreciate, okay, your help to do that, okay, and also your generosity, because I know it takes a lot of help, okay, energetically, to help someone share their post, okay. All right, so I really appreciate it. So yeah, okay, so these are the photos that I've asked, okay, early this year. How many of us would want to see ourselves by the end of this year like a procrastinating tiger like this, okay, where you are just still laying around, sitting around comfortably, okay, waiting for things to happen, waiting for time to pass, all right? How many of us here, okay, are still in a way being that obedient tiger, right? Taking the rules, tolerating things, okay, taking the whipped, okay, whenever we are punished, we are whipped, okay, we are in a way like made to suffer or to tolerate things that we believe that we shouldn't be tolerating, but we still choose to do so for the sake of being obedient or being doing the right thing in the eyes of other people or in the eyes of society, okay. So this picture represents the group of people who have actually chosen that particular path. All right, so now this is a recap. So a recap means that we have to reflect back, okay. So I would really want all of you here who are tuning into this live itself, ask yourself, how has 2022 been? All right, so far, are there things that you are still being like procrastinating, okay, procrastinating about the dreams, the passion, the desire, the goal that you want to achieve, right, for career, businesses, or even in terms of relationship, okay, or a better health, right? So all these things you might want to ask yourself. If you fall onto that particular category, you are like this particular photo, right? So for those of us who are still tolerating nonsense, okay, tolerating in a way negative energy, all right, tolerating in a way shitty, sort of like in a way how to say, 对待对待 means it's like how people treat us, okay, shittily, how people in a way disrespect us, okay. What are we going to do about it, okay? Let's say if you go to work, in terms of your business, your clients, your bosses, your superiors, okay, or in fact in terms of your family members, your children, your parents, okay, your siblings, your best friends, your neighbor, all these relationships aside, okay, is it in a way, okay, interacting, or in a way, how to say, the energy are exchanging in a way that, okay, we are receiving what we deserve, okay. So that will be a question that we need to ask ourselves, because if not, we will be reacting or living a life as if like this group of tigers, just tigers of the circus, okay, where we were made, okay, to forgo our natural, I would say, being, our natural strength, our natural environment, to be trapped in an environment to obey, to listen, to take instructions, okay, and to keep ourselves small. All right, and then of course there is also another, okay, tiger over here that is say what we call 三只喵, okay, which is like in a way sick, okay, tired, lethargic, okay. Do we feel like depressed? Do we feel like under the weather most of the time? Right? Do we feel that, okay, we have no choice, okay? Do we feel like we are so sick, okay, that we are not in control of our life at all, okay? So that will be up to this particular diagram as well, okay, or this photo, right? So these are the things it's like good for us to actually ask ourselves, okay, because now it's the end of the year. Everyone will have our New Year resolutions, okay? What would you want your New Year to be, okay? But before going into that, we want to also see how would we want to close this year. How do we want to, in a way, sit down, look back into the year and tell ourselves, I have done great this year, okay? So these are the things of the purpose of looking back, okay, so that we can move forward without guilt, without shame, without anger, without pain, and without sufferings. All right, so then of course I also shared, okay, during this year itself, annual talk, okay, I shared that, or would you like to see yourself like this? Probably some of you, all right, have actually found yourself this year itself, you are different from the years before. okay, somehow you feel that, okay, you change, okay, you behave differently, okay, you no longer takes nonsense, you no longer tolerate shit in your life, okay. So if that's the case, probably now you are really in a way maximizing the energy of the water tiger. All right, these are the water tiger, being in the wild, being in the water, okay, like freedom, okay, like doing whatever the things, okay, that you feel like doing without restrictions, fully in control of yourself, fully in power, okay, of your own beings, okay. That's a real tiger energy that we are looking in. So how many of you here feels that this is who you are? You feel that without guilt, without shame, that you can claim, all right, proudly, that this has been your year in 2022. All right, so if that's the case, proud on you, okay, give yourself a pat on the back, okay, because this year itself is not an easy year, because later we're going to recap, okay, what exactly is the energy of the year, right? So Summons ID, thank you for sharing as well. Melissa finally able to break free from obedient tiger category in Q3. Very good, Melissa Chow. All right, so that's good. We have a few more months to go in this water tiger year. Keep pushing through, okay. Things will in a way gets like in a way tougher, because as I mentioned in my previous Facebook Live, the energy is getting more yin. Things are getting darker. We are entering into the autumn, okay, and also the winter time. We are almost entering to the end of autumn and stepping ourselves into winter, where, right, the yin energy becomes in a way overwhelmingly strong, okay, and also the yang energy becomes like slowly in a way dwindling more. All right, so when we go through a transition of energy like this, right, okay, chances is we actually might feel, okay, there will be more stressful moments, okay, there will be more times that we tend to get more emotional. We have the tendency to think that of like about at the brim of giving up, okay. We feel that we almost get into the state of like even depressions, right? So that is very natural. It will come to us, but of course with the awareness, we need to know about the awareness, right? With the awareness itself, we bring that internal fire back into ourselves. All right, so time indeed is tougher, okay. Yeah, all right, so this year itself, overall, it is a challenging year, I would say, especially now that we are preparing energetically in terms of environment, okay, or we talk about feng shui, okay, whatever you call it, is a feng shui, the environment energy itself, as we are preparing onto a major shift, okay. I'm sure that most of you here have heard about the Grand Central Portal, which opened this year. All right, so once that portal opens, okay, and of course the portal is getting bigger and bigger, it will maximize, okay, in terms of its portal somewhere in 2026 and 2027, as I mentioned in my workshops before. So as now that every year, okay, the portal gets bigger, the energy gets more intense, right? So when we actually just move into this portal and also preparing ourselves, okay, for a period 9 transition, okay, in 2024 officially period 9 will be stepping in. So during all this transition itself, right, okay, it will create a more hollow sort of like feelings within us, okay, more void, okay, within ourselves spiritually, okay, or even emotionally. So therefore, in order for the energy, okay, energetically to move towards period 9, first of all, we need to understand what is period 9 and how does it look like, okay. I'm sure many of you here, all right, have actually listened, okay, to this before. Just in case any of you here who are tuning in first time, any first timers here, okay, if you have any first timers here who just so happen to stumble upon this Facebook Live, I will go into more detail, okay. I will go slower and explain further for you, because so far what I see, all the names that I've seen here, Vincent, Wei Chiang, Summons ID, Melissa Chong, okay, these are all familiar names, okay. I remember these names, okay. They are here, John Vega as well. These are all, like, in a way, I would say professionals, okay, who have been following me for a long time. So in case if you're a first timer, just stumble upon this Facebook Live, do let me know so that I can actually, in a way, explain myself more in detail so that you know exactly what's going on, because most of the people here already understands, they've been following my sharing. All right, so as we say that now the energy is preparing everyone to go into a new era, a transitional state into a new, I would say, period of time. All right, so and this period of time in terms of feng shui, we label it at a period 9, okay. So period 9 itself, okay, can be represented by what we call Li Gua, okay? Li Gua over here, those of you who know hexagrams, okay? If you know I Ching, it looks like lines like this, okay? Overall, you will see that Li Gua comprises of 2 Li trigram, where you have the upper, okay, line, which is full solid, the middle line, which is a broken line, which is void, okay, and also the lower line itself is also a full solid line. Now, in terms of I Ching, okay, it is very, in a way, straightforward. When you see a full solid line, it's yang. When you see a broken line, it is yin. And of course, another full solid line here, it is also yang. So overall, you know that we are transiting or stepping ourselves into an era where the energy is compact and yang, okay, right, and strong on the outside. That's why I say up and lower, okay, upper and lower is all solid, all right, but the middle part is hollow. So overall, you will see that due to this particular trigram itself, this one information tells us that in period 9, okay, I will say that generally, if we are talking about what is the major source of like what are health issues, okay, that people needs to in a way look into, okay, the major massive health issues that will really in a way be shooting up rapidly will be in a way, I would say, mental health problems that will lead to depression, because depressions talk about the hollowness or the emptiness of the heart, okay, that is explained, okay, in a way like easily by this particular trigram, okay. As you can see here also, out of the 3 lines, the trigram, the energy of fire is a separating energy, right, from whatever the source that's burning, and fire is rising up, building a hollow intermediate or in between at the medial path, right. So you see that period 9 energy will also pull or separates, okay, I would say like people, or even separates how would say levels, okay, right, levels of the society, different levels, things, tiers of things, all right. So in period 9 itself, when the fire stretches up itself, the tiers, okay, that we use to measure, okay, we measure people, measure society, measure standards, okay, because you know everything, okay, human mind use measurement to measure it. That's why people start to compare more. But in period 9 itself, you will see that this measurements itself, okay, will be put upon. When it put upon, the middle part of it becomes empty. It breaks apart, it becomes hollow, empty, okay. So what is left is only on the upper and also on the lower part of it. So how can we actually in a way explain it, okay, in terms of a day-to-day life? All right, so overall you will see that, okay, more and more people, firstly, they will get depressed. Depression happens when our mind, okay, or our mental, okay, and also our heart are going 2 separate ways. Alright, when like our brain thinks so much, okay, into like the future, or thinking so much about staying safe, okay, staying stable and all that, and then but our heart has a different feeling. Alright, the more these separations happen, the more a person will go into depression, okay. People becomes lost, they cannot feel themselves anymore, they can't sense their purpose, they don't feel their fulfillment, okay, because the mind is going apart, okay, but the heart is not following. The heart is in a way like pushing yourself to going things which is against your will, against your heart desire, against your fulfillment, okay. That's why more and more people in period 9, you will feel that depression state will be more common, okay. You will see that more and more people will get depressed, okay. Hi Ellen, okay, Ellen Lee, nice to see you here, because most of the time, okay, I will see your wife, okay, right, on Facebook Live. It's nice to see you here, and recently I saw that you do some videos as well, okay, regarding your sourdough, which is very good. Keep it up. All right, so yeah, come back here. Okay, all right, so now you see that in period 9 itself, when the separations happens, okay, it can also indicates that different tiers of the society will also be pulled apart. Now imagine if we are talking about the upper, middle and lower class or lower income, okay, group of people. So when we goes into period 9, okay, when these segregations or separations happen, okay, the upper income becomes stronger, the lower incomes also remains, because it strengthens the lower income, but it doesn't strengthen the middle income. The middle income parts are the one that get pulled, okay, apart. Put apart means that people who belongs to the middle income group, it is either, right, you push or you strategize yourself, you raise the bar, okay, to ensure that you actually upgrade yourself to the upper tier, or the chances is you will be stranded down to the lower tier, okay? And this is something that I've shared, okay, early this year as well. And due to this separation point as well, you see that, okay, I also share about this particular diagram, okay? Because before period 9 kicks in, we see that, okay? Now, in our life itself, we always have a starting point and also an end point, okay? That's towards the end of our life itself, okay? That is like overall we wrap up our destiny. Now, the starting point is from birth onwards. Now, from before period 9 or like before the new era, before the Grand Central Portal opens, okay, generally as a human growth, okay, this is the different stages. The first one is of course the red zone. When we're a toddler, when we are a kid, when we are young, when we are still new into whatever that we are doing, the question now for us is like, how far are we willing to go? Okay, so that is when like we are young, we should be adventurous. Okay, we should be in a way continuously in a way like having this energy, okay, within us. So when we have that, okay, we will be growing to a certain part until we learn what? We learn fear. That's why you see these are all children, everyone, okay, who are pure and innocent, right? They are very passionate until one day they learn, okay, right, from their upbringings, from the society, from like family, okay, or even like education systems and all that, until we learn the fear zone. Okay, we learn that we have to stay stable. We learn to actually, in a way, keep ourselves quiet, just to take instructions, listen to instructions. Okay, make sure that we have to keep our job, even though we are suffering and we are not happy in it, because that's supposed to keep us secure. Now, these are all the fear beliefs, okay, that we have in a way harnessed. Now, back in the old era, I would say, okay, the old world, because we are now moving into the new world, the new timing. In the old world itself, the fear zone, once we realize it, we realize that, oh, we have cultivated this fear. We have cultivated the different beliefs that's no longer serving us, okay? We have all these sort of restrictions that we do to ourselves. Once we understand that, okay, we go into the learning zone, okay? We learn that, okay, all our beliefs is not true, okay, right? We learn that, okay, I see like there's no such thing as stability, okay? So when we learn about that, okay, we now go directly towards the growth zone. When you learn something, you have growth. That's why in the old world, we will say that you get yourself certified, get yourself certificate, get yourself like a professional certifications, okay? Be an accountant, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer, be an architect, right? Immediately once you get yourself with this academic recognition, okay, you will next go into the growth zone, okay? Chances is you will get yourself a secure job. Isn't that what our parents, okay, or in a way believes in, all right, or what they have been doing? As long as you have, okay, what we call the certificates, all right, or all these like passing with all flying colors, you will secure yourself into the growth zone. You will get a good secure job. You will work with a good company that will secure you towards the end of your destinations, means retirement, okay, and that wraps up our destiny. Now, what's happening in period 9 is now, okay, the things got in a way separated. So we no longer look at this chart as it is now, okay? So what we are going through now is, okay, from the starting point, okay, is already the fear zone, right? Because nowadays you see, children's become so precious, okay, right? Toddlers, babies become so precious, okay? You cannot go out, it is dangerous. You cannot touch this, it's dirty. You cannot eat that is unhealthy. Oh, don't go out to the neighborhood because it's dangerous. Comparatively to the last time, okay, where like as far as you're willing to go, you can run out to your neighbors, okay, you can leave your house, okay, doors unopened. That used to be how our parents grow up. But now in this new era, the children are all locked up, confined, okay, right? Be careful, it's dangerous out there. So therefore, the first zone that any human beings are born in this new era now is immediately they're in contact with the fear zone. From young, okay, they were told, and most of them, majority, has been taught to be fearful. Don't talk to strangers, don't take things from strangers, don't wander off on your own, don't be curious because curiosity kills the cat, all the stuff, all right? So from this fear zone itself, then we go on to the learning zone. We make sure that the parents tells us that academic is very important. They send us to even like starting schools ever since that we are 2 years old, 3 years old, and it's already like schools, tuitions, academic. So therefore, these are the two zones. But now in period 9, when the pull or the separations happen, in between there is a void. So therefore, this void, in a way, separated learning zone and growth zone. Now, what you see in period 9, or we are moving towards period 9, is more and more people are looking for education. More and more people will be looking for self-help. More and more people will be like joining classes, workshop, breakthroughs, okay? Whatever programs that you call it, okay? More and more people will be interested in all these things. And we can see, okay, what we see, the graph, okay, the demands are higher. People wants to learn something. People wants to, in a way, get themselves academically or knowledge equipped. But the thing here now we have to pay attention is that the learning zone does not represent the growth zone. It means that, okay, nowadays a lot of people goes to learn, to get informations, to get all this knowledge in order of the fear of missing out. Okay, where all these people goes for all these things because they are afraid to miss out. Because they know that people attend all these things. People get information. People get knowledge. They get the knowledge is not so that they can use it or put their, in a way, hands on to practice it. Okay, but they get the knowledge so that they can calculate it. Alright, they can calculate means that they can think. They can, in a way, reason out with it. Again, the mind, okay, is in action. So they can now talk about, oh, just because that my chart is like this, or just because this year's outlook is like this, or just because that this particular feng shui, okay, alignment is like this, therefore I cannot do certain things. Therefore, you see, learning zone and growth zone has been separated. It means that in order for us to come to this level, they need to be more action taken. They need to be more awareness. If not, this separations gap will get bigger and bigger, and people will be stranded there. And that's period 9, remember? The lower layer, which is the yang line, and then the middle layer, which is the void line, and the upper layer for people who manage, in a way, breakthrough, make that transformations of really transforming information into action. Alright, so if you can really transform all informations into action, and when that transformation takes place, you cross over the void and you come over to the growth zone and the mastery zone. Alright, and that is something very important as we are going and moving forward itself, okay? Right, okay, we have to know that this part, okay, if we want to go into the growth and eventually mastery of our life, our career, our skill, okay, right? In a way, being able to cross this gap is very important, and that is the impact of the period 9 as well. Okay, so as long as you know this, that's why you see, of course, I've shared about this as well. Okay, it's in the news. Okay, this is nothing new, so you can just Google, okay, like how many new like millionaires or billionaires, okay, and you can see that during the pandemic, when the pandemic happens itself, where majority of people thinks that, oh, we are going to the worst economic sort of like impact, okay, in the world, where you believe that people choose to believe that, oh, we are going through what we call, like, in a way, inflation that's happening, okay, right? You believe, or a lot of people believes that, oh, everyone else is suffering, okay, financially, like you are, then we are wrong. Because not everyone is suffering financially, okay? Because in fact, during the whole pandemic, when this period 9 and the portal opens up, you will see that we have track record, we have made record, a world record of most, I would say, billionaires, okay, or millionaires has been created. Now this one, okay, you can just Google and search for all this information. All right. So, and this is also a sign of the separations, okay, of the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Okay. So all these things, okay, are available online. You can search for it. In fact, in these 2 years itself, all right, we have seen record-breaking news, right, where you will see that people who are rich, they just get richer. Whereas the people who are suffering, remember, middle income group. Middle income groups are the ones that is really, in a way, impacted or affected by it. All right. Whereas you will also see that here, okay, now over 500,000 of like, M40 households, okay, are now B40. Example. In fact, in Malaysia, if you're Malaysians, you can feel this, okay, whether or not we are only just initial step, okay, right? If you're thinking that it's like everything is just wow, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, everything will be all right, okay, right? I'm not saying the worst has gone, yes, but for people who are not ready, the upcoming years is where you will see the aftermath, okay, the effect, okay, the after effect of the whole energy shift itself, that you will see that slowly people, without realizing it, they will be flung out of the equations, okay, and the middle income group, okay, the middle class, okay, in a way are the ones that are affected most, okay. So therefore, why we need to know this? We need to know this so that awareness is there, so that we don't, in a way, like sit around enjoying ourselves, procrastinating more, okay, like just now the tiger who's like laying around anymore, because there's really not much time. We are moving aggressively into this transition of energy. If we do not, in a way, make changes and transformations as soon as possible, eventually, in Chinese we say, ham do mo ngan doi, okay, means that we will always have to bear our own consequences, okay. Right now, why are we in a way so devoted to share all this information? Because you see, it might touch someone's life, okay. Probably you just come across this sharing, right, you realize it, and then you take actions, again, do something about it, okay, without really like in a way like bringing your awareness to do something, to act on it, all right, before really like instead of like sitting around and thinking everything will be okay, everything will be go back to normal as it was before the pandemic, then you are on the wrong track. Right, so the purpose of sharing all these things is so that it can reach out to more people, so that if you can, please do help me. Those of you who are tuning in now, do help me to share this out, to reach out to more people, so that at least when they listen, okay, to this, awareness is the key of change and transformation. So once you are aware of it, then you know, okay, and when you know about it, hopefully you will do something about it, okay, and that's how we get ourselves across the void and go into the growth zone. And of course, if you look here as well, okay, you know that ever since last year, okay, now China, okay, has many ways, and you know China, Chinese Metaphysics, I'm sure that they follow all this I Ching, 八字风水 and metaphysical, in a way, advice, okay, closely, okay, even though they might not be openly in a way like admitting to it, but you know, okay, that they are following this advice, because every strategy and every step that they take, it is relating and preparing them, okay, from whatever that has been I would say advised, okay, or the information that has been advised through the hexagram. They know that the separations will take place, and you know that in any countries you do not want that separations to happen, all right. You do not want the rich to get richer, the poor to get poorer. You will lose grip of your country, all right. So in order to cope that, you will see, and you can just go and Google about all this news itself, okay, it's available online. They are trying so bad, okay, to even out, to balance, okay, whatever things that is impacting on the energy, right? Because the more you can balance this overall as a nation, and also the government of the nation itself, then only you can progress and you can grow. Because if not, the chances is the countries will eventually be ruled by the tycoons. It will no longer be ruled by the governing government. Okay? It will no longer be ruled by politicians. Okay, it will only be ruled by tycoons. All right, I'm sure that if you're Malaysian, you understand what I mean. All right, so here. Now, okay, so we understand that already. That is like overall preparing the energy to go into the period 9. Now, the next thing is, okay, we also talk about recapping the outlook for 2022. Like, how has 2022 been? What is the energy factor of 2022? Then, of course, every year when we talk about this, we always want to plot out the what we call the Lap Chun Parter chart, okay? So this is the Li Chun chart, okay, of the Parter chart, which this year falls 4th of February 2022, right, approximately on the Tiger Hour, 4:51 a.m., okay? So when we plotted out the chart looks something like this. I know those of you who are new, you have no idea, okay, what is this all about, okay? So just bear in mind that now, okay, you see that, okay, if you see blue color, it is water. If you see green color, it is wood. If you see yellow color here, it is earth. All right, so if you see red color, the small little dot of red color over here, the writings in red, that is fire, right? And of course, another one, if you see where the white color, we don't have any here, okay, the white color, which is metal. All right, so overall, when we look at the chart itself, okay, we do the predictions, okay, by plotting out the Lap Chun chart itself, and we see from here on the elemental sort of interaction. And of course, those of you, okay, here, if you look at this chart, you know what is the, I would say, domineering elements, okay, or the energy of the elements for this year in 2022, okay? So we will see here, of course, the dominant element is obviously the wood element, followed by water element, okay? Majority, you see water on top and wood majority at the bottom, because you have 2 water on top with 1 wood, and then of course 3 wood at the bottom. So how we actually do the predictions, of course, we lay out the pictorial method, okay? The pictorial method is easier for us to understand the year itself. Now when we look at it, why does this chart look something like this? Because when it comes to, in a way, bagua, okay, the bagua or the 8 trigrams, okay, water represents by water, wood here or the tiger represents by zhenggua, okay? Zhenggua means the thunder hexagram. So overall, you will see that, okay, in 2022, okay, my predictions when I look at this chart itself, the image that comes to me is a water over thunder hexagram. So the whole pictorial is like a lot of water with a lot of thunder going on, okay? Therefore, early this year, we shared this image, okay? Right, this year will be exceptional. And of course, right, people will be saying that, but Jessie, every year also got water one, every year also got thunder one, okay? Right, everywhere in the world, surely somehow you will see thunder, water. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Chinese metaphysics, okay, whenever that energy becomes obvious, being seen in a chart or in terms of a hexagram, okay, pictorially, the energy becomes intense, it means that those elements of energy becomes more intense of the year as well. It means that whatever, if you see those elements happening this year itself, it will not be just another thunderstorm. It will not just be like just rain or any hurricane that's happening, okay? Right? Because those are normal. But it will be something that break records. It will be something that make it into a historical record breaking sort of like thunder, water incidents. For those of you, do you see or do you realize that this year, I mean, most of you here are Malaysians, even in Malaysia itself, ever since early this year, all right, do you actually sense that there are a rapid, really big, massive change in terms of our weather? For Malaysians only, I mean, if you are in other countries, okay, probably you can relate it to it as well. Even in Singapore, right? In Malaysians, you know that, all right? I've been in Malaysia, okay, for so long, but somehow this year itself, now before I was born, I know that somewhere in, if I'm not mistaken, probably like, end of like, somewhere end of the 60s and all that, right? We have a moment where the whole KL was submerged in water. It was a great flood that flooded KL, right? But the thing is, ever since I was born, okay, I've never experienced anything like that before, all right? But this year, you see that, okay, this time it is so different. A lot of countries, now Malaysia itself already, you see that, okay, right? You see it in Shah Alam, in KL, okay, in a lot of like city center areas, flash flood, flooding up to the top of the roof, double story roof, mind you. And that's not something common, okay? And you will see that thunders and flash floods and thunderstorms and all this has been hitting, okay? Even Malaysia itself, and you know that there are incidences in like even near Perak, where you see like mini hurricanes happening, okay? Like the thunderstorms that comes in with the wind that can actually, in a way, like scroll up or lift up the whole entire rooftop. And that has happened this particular year itself. And it will still continue to happen. We are not done yet, all right? Because we are still in this particular 2022. All right, flood is coming soon in a place near us, okay? Again, yeah, all these things will happen because this is the energy of the year. Right, because if the energy impact that year itself, okay, I'm not saying that, oh, the whole world, every entire place will be flooded, but majority, a lot of like out of expectation, okay, a lot of major cities that like you will never expect it to be flooded, it will get flooded, okay? So that is how the energy impacting, because when it comes to astrology, we in a way try to understand the planetary or also the constellations alignment, the alignment of the stars and the planets. By aligning this, okay, means that it won't only in a way impact on one place, it will impact on, in a way, the whole earth itself, okay? But of course, not every single entire place, okay? But a lot of the places will be impacted by it, okay? And that's how the energy goes. All right, so once we understand this already, okay, right, from which is derived from this chart, there's also, okay, understanding the 5 elements, because we talked about early this year that how this particular diagram itself, the party chart of this year's Lapchun, we now analyzes into the 5 elements to see which is more dominant. Wood is the most dominant, followed by water, followed by fire, and then earth, and then metal, which is totally non-existing in the chart itself. So I'm not going to go into detail because the detailings are for those of you who bought ticket early this year to listen to the whole entire talk. Alright, so you already know the detail. But overall, okay, I am here just sharing with all of you, okay, if wood is the strongest element. It means that, let's see, my way of sharing all this in a way annual talk is, I won't talk about wood is the strongest, it means wood industries will be the best this year. No, it doesn't happen that way, right? Because you see, whatever industries is relating, let's say example, if like dragon is the best animal sign this year, does it mean that all dragons will be doing well? No. Right? But the thing is the wood energy, okay, if you know this is the strongest element, if you exercise the wood energy, these are the people will be the most successful. So remember early this year we shared about wood energy that represents growth, that represents changes, that represents like no way seasonal things, means rapid changes, rapid growth, okay, expansions of things, okay. So for any companies, individuals, it can be even employees, not necessarily must be an employer or a business owner. As long as you have the mentality of growth, learning, okay, changing, all right, in a way, because you see, plants and woods, okay, all these are seasonal. They always outgrow themselves. Like one moment you see tonight, okay, there's no flower. The next morning you will see that flower blossoming, right? And then it opens, fully blossom, and the next day it is gone, okay? So every moment you see that the wood are constantly, in a way, renewing itself, building itself. So overall, you know that this year itself, industries, companies, they are continuously renewing itself, okay? Like in a way, innovative, trying something new, branching out, okay? Everything that relating to the wood element, these are the industries that will be faring very well, okay? Right? Anything relating to wood. Now, overall, we also say that metal, okay, is the missing element in the chart. I won't go through all, okay, because we already we already shared this earlier this year, right? Now, metal overall itself, okay, is the weakest element of the year. So, metal is the weakest element, means financially relating to metal, money, financial that's relating to metal, mostly it will be affected. It means most of the countries' chances is, now it won't be all, remember, yin and yang symbol is, even if you are in the yang part, there's one dot of black, okay? Even if you are in the black part, there's one dot of white, okay? So overall, you will see that when the energy impacts like this, okay? So metal element is the weakest, means financially, currency, money, okay? That's all relating to the metal element. 金融, we call it, okay, in Chinese, okay? So most of the countries itself will be impacted with inflation, okay? Right, okay, will be hit very hardly in terms of their currencies, okay? And of course, on the personal value, okay, personal individual, metal represents discipline. We talk about that. Action taken, all right, discipline and action. So overall, you know that this year, more and more people will be lacking of that courage to take action. And you know that the courage to take action, to grow, to innovate, to make changes is very important, right? Okay, but the thing is the metal is missing. So the more we are lacking of that proactive taking action, all right? So if we are still living in a reactive mode, okay, we are still living in procrastination, this year itself will actually downgrade your level. So remember, you have a few more months. Ask yourself, what are the things that you have been delaying? What are the things that you are trying to actually like push aside, that you have not really, in a way, like make it a point, okay, to take actions and make changes to it, okay, yeah. So these are the things that matters, okay, because if not, the chances when this year's energy, in a way, moves out, okay, and next year comes in, we have a new set of energy to work on. That's how we, in a way, we grow, we ride, we flow along with the wave. Every year, we make sure that we are getting better and better and better. But the problem, why people got bad luck, why people got, in a way, somehow like stranded, okay? Why is because whatever that they need to break through, whatever they need to learn this year based on the Water Tiger year, okay, they delay the learning. They don't take actions, okay? They are ignorant. They don't have the awareness, okay? When they do not have this, okay, they delay the homework for this year. when you don't work on the homework for this year, you dig yourself a hole so that you comes lower. When next year comes in, you are lower. You start lower level compared to the rest of the people. Because people who keep on, in a way, maintaining their level, and here you are, in a way, delaying yourself, you dig yourself 1 year lower. Now imagine all these years, okay, if you have been delaying transformation, if all of us has been delaying breakthroughs, okay, we have so much fear in us that every year what we are supposed to do, but we end up never do it. Imagine how deep is the hole that currently we are all standing in. All right, so therefore remember, in 2022, okay, please clear all your back debts. That is the purpose of looking back, moving forward. Because if we don't look back, if we don't clear all these back debts, we cannot really move forward in ease. Remember, imagine now that you are badly in debt, you owe everyone so much money. Every month, okay, that your income comes in, all of it will be gone, and it's not even enough. Where is your motivation to move forward anymore? You won't have that motivation to move forward because whatever hard work that you put in, it doesn't belong to you anymore. Alright, so that's what we want to cut this. We want to transform. We want to end this particular, in a way, energy cycle. Alright, so therefore remember, Feng Shui, part of Chinese astrology, will help us by guiding us the way to tell us what we should be doing. The rest of the things is we need to put in the action, massive action, in order for us, okay, to yearn the fruits or the results. It's not that something that you come every year itself, okay, to listen to, oh, which animal sign good, hey, this year which industry is good, oh, how is the outlook, but nothing will change for you. Maybe you can witness and see the change in other people to see how other people becomes more successful or becomes more shitty, but the chances is you will not become successful. And that's how Chinese metaphysics or any forms of astrology work, okay, in case if you're first time looking into this. Alright, so then the next thing is, once we understand that, we also look into the hexagram of 2022, Lap Chun. And of course, this one, we will actually wait for next week. As I said, there are so many. I mean, like every week itself, we have, like, in a way, a repeating, I would say, a look back, a flashback, okay, into the year itself, so that we can now look into the year to see. Now, after the hexagram, next week itself, we will talk about the hexagram of 2022. We will also talk about the personal focus. Means that by next week, you will need your parter chart. You will look into, I will teach you and guide you to look into your own parter chart, into the energy of this year, how is it impacting you, what are the things you have to focus on in terms of your personal growth, also in terms of your career, and also business growth. Alright, so therefore, okay, remember to tune in again next week. And again, for those of you, okay, who are in a way been following me every year for my New Year astrology talk, we have finally, like, set everything, okay, and we are now allowing the tickets to be purchased, okay. So in case if you want to actually join me, right, next year 2023, jumping out of the rabbit hole, okay, remember, right, the hole that we are in is as deep as how deep we dig it. It's all a self-doing. So 2023 itself, remember, okay, if we know the strategies, if we know how to, in a way, jump out of it, okay, and follow the flow of the accelerations of the speed itself, we will grow, because the expansion, the Grand Central Portal has opened, okay, and we are moving to a new era with the strategies shared in this particular annual talk itself. Again, we'll talk about the outlook of the year in terms of course, economic. We'll talk about also generally how is it going to impact emotionally on the society. We'll talk about, like, what are the specific elements that stands out, okay. We will talk about, of course, personal focus using your own parter into detail, and of course we talk about Feng Shui and also date selections, how to activate to boost up the luck. So if you're interested, there are 2 sessions, January 8, 2023, okay, that will be the English sessions on January 8, okay. It's a full day event via online. It's on Zoom. It is 50 ringgit that we're selling now. There will be a Cantonese session, which is also selling for 50 ringgit. Now, 50 ringgit here is a subsidized session. I have no intention to raise the price. I know outside the price, a lot of practitioners are selling much higher price. Not to say that I'm cheap, I'm nothing cheap, but the thing is, I find that the annual event, okay, is something close to my heart. Because through this event, I can reach out to people, I can share whatever little humble findings that I can share. If I can touch other people's life by just joining the annual event and you put actions into leading your life, just one event will be good enough for you to transform your life yearly. All right, so therefore, thanks to J Group, okay, Building Dreams Together, it is a subsidized, in a way, event from them because they sponsor me and my time, all right, so that I can actually share with you at this low price. So if you want to buy the Cantonese sessions on the 7th of January, okay, one day before, 10 to 5 p.m. or both at 100 ringgit, all right? So I know you were saying, buy both also same price, buy one also same price. Yes, it's the same price, okay? Because this is a subsidized price, okay? And all this price itself with the information and the content and the different point of view that how I look into feng shui and bazi and I Ching, okay? Every year itself, if you're practitioners, you know the price itself is more than worthwhile, okay? So I really hope, okay, you can actually join me on this particular event itself. If just in case those of you who somehow feels that you're not ready to join me, don't miss out on my next week Facebook Live, because the recap, looking back at this year's itself, will be good enough to help you, guide you to, in a way, follow through the remaining few months. Right? Make sure that you're up to par. Make sure that you're not stranded behind. Make sure you follow the energy so that when the new year comes in, it is easily for you to just hop and jump, okay, towards your goal and your vision. Or else you will be still, in a way, how to say, deep down in your rabbit hole. All right? So remember, there are always ways for us to help ourselves, okay, to make the transformations and to make our life better, okay? So the thing is whether or not we want that to happen, okay? Maybe we can just go back into the main screen and just cater to any questions. Alright, so yeah, any questions earlier? Always getting amazing content from the annual sharing. Thank you so much, Melvi. Thank you for your testimonial. That really helps, okay, especially for people who are just first time tuning in to this particular sharing itself. Okay, Ling Eng says, teacher, I have a question. Our age recess 3, 6, and 9 in that year, does it impact our annual up? Not sure this question is appropriate. Of course it's appropriate, okay? Ling Eng, if you have, probably, I'm not sure if you have heard, okay, I was raised and brought up in a temple, okay? In our temple, it's a Taoist temple, and I can understand where your questions comes from, because it's like normally what we do is we advise people that have a Chinese age of 3, 6, and 9, okay, to go through what we call like turning your luck. Turning your luck means 转運啦, okay? Right now, the thing is 3, 6, and 9 are the anger, okay? The anger of the luck, okay? In a way that is like in a way flowing. So normally, now from a ritual point of view, religious ritual point of view itself, okay? We want to do some rituals, to prayers, to bring the awareness so that we can smoothen out our luck. But in terms of astrology, it's different. Religious is rituals. Rituals means that meditations is ritual. Prayers are rituals, okay? Any rituals to calm us, to bring the awareness back, okay, so that we can now not only think but feel ourselves. Whenever we meditate, whenever we do all these rituals to pray and all that, we feel, because we have to be very careful. What we do is when we are asked to 轉角運, right, we turn around the luck itself, you are asked to actually crawl underneath the table of the altar. And when you have to crawl underneath the table of the altar, you have to do it extremely careful, because or else you will bump your head. So therefore, all these rituals, the purpose of it is actually to bring our awareness. Because why? Our soul are too distracted, okay? Distracted of so many things that's going on, too fast going on, okay? So we are all over the place. Our mind is one way, our heart is don't know lost where, that we cannot feel ourselves that much. So when we turn over all these prayers, rituals itself, okay, it is to help us to bring that awareness back. But bringing awareness back is not going to change our luck entirely. Remember, heaven, earth, and man. Because if we do not know our weakness, if we do not know where we are stuck at, every year we go and turn, or every year we go and pray, it won't help either. Alright? So I have the privilege to, in a way, been raised and see from all different perspectives, from prayers perspective and also from the astrology perspective. So the purpose of astrology here is to find out where are we stuck. What are the things we need to break through, okay? Like, what are the things that we are doing to ourselves, that we are digging the hole deeper? So this part needs human action to work on, okay? That transformations, that breakthrough. Then after doing this, we can do prayers to manifest, to calm ourselves, to bring our energy level or our soul to be more aligned, so that more awareness will be reversed throughout the entire year. So that's how, okay, it actually connects, alright? So therefore, Ling Eng, if you are saying that, like, if you just go and just turn, okay, and pray every day, you pray also, I have seen, okay, people like that, it won't change your luck. Alright, now your luck will only change is with the awareness, with knowing or understanding what exactly, okay, that we need to work on. What is it that is in a way that is our karmic loop? Work on it. then we go and do prayers, manifestations. When these things are aligned, not only that we'll get ourselves out of what we call the low luck cycle or the bad luck, we will also be able to manifest heaven on earth. Heaven on earth means that 要嗰樣得嗰樣，心想事成啊。Means that whatever that you wish for, it becomes a fulfillment. Alright, remember, these are how the process. I hope that I answer you, Ling Ern, okay? Alright, thank you for bringing that up as well. And of course, 3, 6, and 9, there are meanings to it, okay? When I have the time, okay, I will, in a way, probably do a Facebook Live dedicated to just that particular sharing in the future, right? But not so soon towards Chinese New Year because we have all the Facebook Live lined up preparing for the energy of next year. Thank you so much to all of you. Any more questions that I need to cater to? Okay, Ayaka in US, okay, also join midnight, okay, event cannot miss. Thank you so much, Ayaka. I know you have been very, very supportive, okay, Venice Wong. Definitely join the annual astrology talk. Join many years already. Thank you so much, okay, Venice Wong as well. Yeah, all of your testimony here, whatever comments that you're commented down, okay, all right, it really helps, okay, for people who have not joined any of the events before. Probably it at least, okay, share with them that, okay, it will be a day where you will benefit something out of it. All right, so thank you so much to all of you, right? And yeah, have a great evening ahead. Remember, starting tonight onwards, initiate yourself to look back into 2022 in order to prepare ourselves to move forward into 2023 together and more successfully. I will see you again next week. Bye.